Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a trying new makeup video. I've got a new primer, a new eyeshadow palette, a new blush, some new lip products, so I'm really excited to play with some makeup with you all. This is actually a late night filming sesh. I've got an absolutely massive cup of tea with the tea bag actually still steeping, but I really wanted to film this video. I was excited to film it, and I just figured, who cares if it's 8:58 at night on a Friday? It's a Friday night. We can get wild. We can do some makeup and just kind of chill and hang out. So that is the plan for today. I'm gonna zoom you in and we're gonna get started. Does anyone mind if I start with the eyeshadow first? Is that cool? Because I'm just really excited about the eyeshadow palette that I'm going to use, and I also have a feeling, since it's a more bold look, that there might be some fallout. So I think I'm actually going to go rogue. I don't normally do the eyes first, but I think I'm going to do that this time. The eyeshadow palette that I'm going to be trying is another Glamlite palette, and I just have to show you the packaging because it's honestly kind of hilarious. So this is the Glamlite Frosted Flakes palette, and it actually comes in like a legit cereal box, which I think is so funny. And the palette even comes in a plastic bag like your cereal does. The actual palette itself is actually pretty cute and compact, and I will give you a close-up of the colors that we're working with. So if you've been keeping count, you'll know this is officially my third video with a Glamlite palette. So the Glamlite obsession is real, but I'm just having so much fun with their color stories, with playing with color, doing more colorful eye looks, and I'm also really enjoying their formula. So I saw an amazingly talented makeup artist on Instagram do a look with this palette recently. If I can figure out how to put the video or her account up on the screen, I will. Her username is Sonia LD, and she did an amazing blue look using this palette that I was just so inspired by. So I think I'm gonna try and do my version of the kind of look that she did, and we'll just cross our fingers and hope that it turns out even half as beautiful as her look did. But I'm actually going to start by curling my eyelashes. I think I said this in another video, but I am not one of those people that can curl my eyelashes after the eyeshadow is already on without messing something up. So I just always like to try and remember to curl my eyelashes before I start. And then I'm going to prep my lids, as I've been prepping my lids a lot recently with the Bobbi Brown Longwear Cream Shadow Stick in the shade Bone, just to even out my lid space. I would like to do swatches of this palette, but for the sake of keeping this video under an hour, I think I'm gonna have to skip the swatches for today. Okay, I'm just gonna set that as I usually do with my Vive Modern Essentials palette and the shade So Shy, which is just basically a bone-colored eyeshadow. OMG, we've got a live pan. I was so determined to hit pan in that shade, and I just did. Let me see if you can see it. You see that tiny little pan? Yay! I've been using this shade consistently to set my eye primer, and these are pretty deep pans, so it actually took quite a while, but yay, another live pan while filming a video. We love to see it. And that means it's another sneak peek for my February Empties, Declutters, and Pans video. So you all are getting the exclusive content. I'm gonna try to just jump right into the eye look and figure out which shades Sonia LD is using. Part of the reason why I was so inspired by this look from Instagram was the shape. It's a shape of eyeshadow that I've never done before, but I've seen other people do it. So we're just gonna give it a shot today. It's like a nice winged out shape here with a deep matte, but the deep matte also comes through the inner part of the crease too, and it creates like a really cool lifted winged out eye effect. So I'm just gonna give it my best try. I'm literally going to bed after this, so if it's a total disaster, it's fine. But I'm gonna start first with the shade Go Getter, which is the deepest matte blue in the palette, and I'm gonna start sketching out a wing. I am using an e.l.f. I think it's a professional defining eye brush. I thought this brush would work well because it actually has a little bit of an angle to it. I'm gonna try to match that up on the other eye. Okay, that's obviously not super precise, but I don't think it's gonna matter by the end because it's all gonna kind of be blended together. And I think she actually takes that deepest shade all the way across to the inner corner. And then just with whatever is left on that brush, I'm just gonna meet up at the inner corner and start to sketch out another line. I can already tell my eye look is going to be a little bit different from hers because her eye shape is perfect to suit this kind of like winged almond vibe, and my eyes are more kind of rounded, but who cares, right? I think I can adapt it to my eye shape and still get a really cool effect. I'm gonna wipe off that brush a little bit, and then I'm gonna dip into one of the lighter matte blue shades. I think I'm gonna take the shade Teamwork and just start to kind of blend those edges a little bit. I'm almost dragging it like up into my brow a little bit just because of my eye shape. I feel like that gives me a more exaggerated wing. I'm really blending that into the inner corner too. She even said in the caption of the video, like, blue is one of her trust the process colors, which I thought was really true, because it definitely feels very scary to just put a bunch of dark blue around your eyes like this. But we're gonna follow her lead and trust the process, okay? Okay, and then she goes back in and just deepens everything up again. So I'm going back into that first shade that we used called Go Getter. So far, these mattes are really, really pigmented. If you've watched my other Glamlite videos, you'll have heard me say this, but in some of the other Glamlite palettes I've tried, some of the mattes are super pigmented and some of them are a little bit more buildable, so it's kind of unpredictable which kind of matte you're getting when you dig your brush in, but these so far I think are definitely super highly pigmented, especially this darker shade. And she really exaggerates the inner crease here and deepens that up quite a bit. And then this outer corner. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Okay, so wow, I'm looking scary in the viewfinder. Trusting the process, right? She then goes in with one of the mid-tone blue shimmers. I'm not exactly sure which one she's using, but I think I'm gonna take Sweet Spark in the blank space on the lid. So I'm gonna pick this up with my brush and see how it applies first, and then if I feel like I want to spray it or go in with my fingers, I'll do that after. That is a really stunning blue shimmer shade though, wow. I think I'm just gonna go right over top of the darkest blue that's at the lash line too. Let me actually try this with my finger because I had luck with that last time with Glamlite. Oh yeah. It picks up a lot more pigment with your finger, and it's a little bit more seamless to get it on the lid evenly. And then I'll just take my brush to kind of be more precise in this area. Same thing on the other eye. You can hopefully see how well that's applying with my finger on this side. Just taking that right up to the crease and along the lash line. And then with my brush, going into this negative space here. Am I okay? My voice keeps going out. I'm just gonna take my brush we used for the mattes and kind of blend the edges of that shimmer. I actually feel like I lost a little bit of that negative space in here that was making it look really cool. So I'm just gonna take a makeup wipe and take off a little bit of this. And then just going back in with the mattes, get my blending to kind of stop a little bit sooner. And fill the rest of that space with the shimmer. So I think that's closer to what her look was trying to do. It wasn't creating like one winged outline. There was like a little bit of negative space right here where it's just the shimmer. And again, my eye shape looks different to hers, and also I don't have her skills. So this is just my take on it. And then I'll just take my brush one more time and make sure that that blend kind of matches. I'm back in on the outer corner and deepening this back up, and then on the inner corner too, to really exaggerate the shape. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with Frosted. I wiped off that same brush, and I'm just going to put this in the inner corner and drag it underneath the eye to bring a little bit of light to that area. Yes, I know I haven't done concealer yet. I feel like putting a little bit of that a little bit higher up too will also keep this from looking like a black eye. Okay, and then that deepest matte shade, just matching that up on the lower lash line. And then kind of blending that out with that lighter shade Teamwork. I'm just going to clean up these outer corners again and take my blending brush around all of these edges. I think for my skin tone, I could use even more brightness in the inner corner. So I'm going to go in with the shade Milk, which I'm thinking is a shimmery white, but it might have a little bit of blue in it. I'm not sure. And just putting that in my inner corner again to just brighten that right up. And then I'll also tap that. I'm actually going to take this on my finger. I'm going to tap it through the center of my lid and then up into that negative space to just create a little light trail. It reminds me in texture of the one in the Icy Cherry palette, but it doesn't have duochrome to it. I'm gonna put some mascara on, but I feel like this is a look that could really benefit from some falsies. And she put a baby blue eyeliner in the waterline, which would be perfect, but I unfortunately don't have one. I'm using my Bite Beauty Upswing mascara, by the way. And then I'm gonna put some falsies on, which I might regret because I'm not actually great at applying them, but I feel like the look really needs them, and also I just kind of want to play and practice. So these are the Ardell, I think they're the 601s. Actually, while my lash glue gets a little bit tacky, let's try out this primer. So this is the Bare Minerals Prime Time Hydrate and Glow Primer. I was gifted this in exchange for review, and anytime there's a primer that says the words hydrate, glow, luminous, moisturizing, I'm all over it because my skin is just so dry. Here's what it looks like. It's kind of a runny consistency. Just going to rub that in, and it's actually very lightweight. It doesn't feel silicone-y or anything. It's not tacky. It just feels like a really nice lightweight moisturizer. I don't know if you can see on my hand, but there's definitely a glow to it. A little bit through here as well. So I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation, which I will just apply with my fingers. First, I'm going to put these lashes on. Okay, lash glue is drying still, and please don't judge my lash application because, as I mentioned, I don't do this very often. But whenever I try a new primer, I like to go in with a foundation that I know very well and know how it sits on my skin. So I'm just putting on some of my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation, which I like to rub in with my hands these days. So far, it seems to be going on nice and smoothly over the primer. I don't know if I notice a noticeable glow, like more than usual though, so I'll keep an eye on that. But I'm gonna go run and do concealer, bronzer, contour, and my brows, and I will come back to you when it's time for blush. Okay, so concealer, contour, bronzer, and brows are on, and I also put some bottom lash mascara on, and I feel like that really helped bring the look together. Still very out of my comfort zone. But I think that's what late night Friday makeup therapy is for. It's for kind of trying techniques that you don't normally do and just going for it. So I haven't powdered my face yet because I wanted to show you a new blush to me. So this is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blush in the shade Bellini. It's just an absolutely stunning, bright, peachy shade. Almost more like a tangerine than a peach, and I think it'll really complement the blue in the eyes. So I'm just going to pick this up on my finger to start. I like applying cream blush with my fingers just because I feel like it melts into the skin better sometimes. I was sent this in exchange for review, and I've swatched it, but this is my first time trying it on my face. Stunning color, like truly, truly stunning. It definitely goes on pretty matte. It's not a dewy or emollient cream blush, which might actually be really good if you have oily skin but you want to try a cream blush out. I can see this being a really nice one for you. And honestly for dry skin too, because it is that cream texture, but it does sit a little bit matte. I feel like it's going to be longer wearing on my face than most cream blushes. And my experience with Danessa Myricks products is that they are very long wearing anyway. So I'll have to give this one a proper wear test, but just on first impressions, that is really beautiful. It blended out really well and just really easily with my finger too. But I am just obsessed with that shade. I think it would be so pretty on medium to deep skin tones, and in the summer, it's definitely giving me summer vibes. But it's a nice little cheery blush to help with the winter blues too. So the last product that I have here that's new that I wanted to try with you are these Physicians Formula Diamond Last Mineral Wear Lip Creams. and they sent me 3 shades. The packaging on these is actually really cute. It has like a crystal on the lid. So they sent me Topaz Taupe, which is, I think, the one I might use today because I feel like the terracotta of it would really complement that peachy blush. Then there is Majestic Mauve. Stunning. That's giving Kat Von D Lolita liquid lipstick vibes. If you were around in the makeup world in those days, this is Majestic Mauve. And then Rose Quartz, which is definitely the most ready pink of the 3. So we have Topaz Taupe, Majestic Mauve, and Rose Quartz. Just swatching these on the back of my hand, they feel very thin and lightweight and not like a liquid lipstick formula. They feel like they're not really going to set down and that they might retain a bit of the moisture and shine. Let me actually quickly just see what the claims are on these. Long wearing, ultra creamy and richly colored, a weightless saturated color in a single swipe. Say goodbye to touch-ups because this is one and done. Simply swipe on and you're good to go for the rest of the day. Also claims to be comfortable. It has vitamin E, cruelty-free and vegan, fragrance-free, gluten and paraben-free, and talc-free. So let's try this on the lips. I'm gonna line my lips with my MAC Whirl lip liner, because I feel like it's just a shade that goes with everything. And then I'm going to go in with Topaz Taupe. The smell is a little weird. It's a little bit chemical-y. Definitely deposits a lot of pigment and product. It's definitely lightweight, but there is no shine to speak of. This is looking really matte on my lips, which is disappointing. I thought it was going to be more like the Wet n Wild High Shine, what are those called? I thought it was going to be more like the Wet n Wild Mega Last Liquid Catsuit High Shine lipsticks. This one lasts on your lips like a liquid lipstick, but it maintains some shine. This is absolutely drying down and feeling tight and matte on my lips, so it is definitely more of like a traditional liquid lipstick formula. I have dry lips anyway, so this isn't the kind of lip product that I typically gravitate toward just because I know liquid lipsticks dry my lips out. But if you're someone who really wants your lipstick to last, then you might like that about this. I'm actually going to put a little bit of this Wet n Wild one over the top of this just because I'm already feeling like my lips are uncomfortable. And this will just add a little bit of moisture back. So kind of a bummer about the Physicians Formula lip products, especially since I have 3 shades of them now. Maybe they would work as cream blushes or maybe just as like a base for lip gloss. But yeah, probably not my top recommendation from this video. Going back over the things that I've tried with you, the Bare Minerals primer, I mean, I know I haven't done like a wear test or anything. I feel like my skin looks good. I'm not sure it made like a noticeable difference to the way that my foundation is laying on top of my skin or the way that it applied. It might make a difference in how long my makeup wears though, so that will be one that I have to kind of revisit and continue to use to give you a full review on. But so far so good. I think my skin looks pretty nice, pretty hydrated, all things considered, and pretty smooth, but my pores aren't filled in or anything like that. It's just sort of like another layer of moisture underneath my foundation, which, hey, I will take it. I will take any layer of moisture that I can get, especially in the winter time. As far as the Glamlite's Frosted Flakes palette goes, I really enjoyed using this today. The mattes go on really smoothly and blend really well together. Very richly pigmented. The shimmers, I think, are Glamlite's Same amazing shimmer formula, applied best with a finger or with a wet brush, but definitely will give you lots and lots of payoff. I know I've gone for a more out there look today, but I think there's a way to do a more neutral look with this palette, or just even like a pop of blue if you don't want to go full out with the blue look like I've done today. But I had a lot of fun trying to recreate the look that I saw on Instagram and just playing around with different eyeshadow shapes and techniques, and even some fake lashes, which is something I never do. Definitely fun to play with, but also one that I think that you could get some really nice wearable looks out of too. I don't think you have to go this dramatic, but it definitely can do dramatic too if that's what you're looking for. I'm probably most excited about from this video though is the Danessa Myricks blush. I'm really loving the way that this is looking in the viewfinder. Even though it's not super creamy and dewy on the skin, I'm feeling like this is going to be perfect in the summer when you want a cream blush because you want your skin to look hydrated and not flat and matte and powdery, but you need it to stay and not slide off your face or just disappear throughout the day. Again, I haven't done a wear test, but just from the way it's sitting on my face, it feels and looks like it's melted into my skin and just become part of my skin at this point, which is what I love in a blush, because that means it's going to wear well and look like it's one with my skin throughout the day. This color is insane. I love it. Definitely a standout in my collection in terms of shade. I don't have anything else like this. And also different from my other cream blushes and formula, I would say. It does remind me a touch of the Tarte Sea Breezy formula, but I would say that one is even a little bit more hydrating and emollient, even though it is more on the matte side. This one is definitely the most matte out of my cream blushes, but I think it looks really pretty on my skin. My skin doesn't look dry or flat or anything like that. So we have a winner. And yeah, I think you could probably take or leave the Physicians Formula Diamond Last Lip Cream, depending on your preference. I mean, if you are a liquid lipstick lover, then you might see one of the shades that really calls out to you. I think you would like the formula because it is that kind of classic liquid lipstick formula that seems to just dry down on the lips and cling onto the lips. Really thin. I felt like application was easy. It's just not my personal preference for a lip product because it's a little bit too drying for me and a little bit too flat. But I really like the shades that I got to try, so kind of a bummer. I'll find a way to use them in my collection even if I just layer over with a gloss, but definitely one for those of you who like a more matte liquid lipstick. Okay, and that is everything for my trying new makeup video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I think this was really fun. Honestly, halfway through, I did think I was just gonna scrap this entire video because this look is very out of my comfort zone. I'm not really sure how it's showing up for you on camera either. In person, I think it looks really cool, but it's definitely dramatic and full on for me, but I kind of love it. I kind of love that I got to play and do something different. Definitely check out Sonia LD. I'll have her account linked in the description because she creates some amazing looks and obviously has some impressive makeup skills. But other than that, I'm going to leave it there for this video. If you would like to see any of these products featured again, if you'd like to hear my updated thoughts or full reviews on them in future videos, let me know. Otherwise, I will plan to see you in the next one. Bye!